Okay?
And please feel free to jump in, so it's like a conversation.
Okay, we're recording now. Okay, I will. Now, just introduce yourself. Torun Tornsel. I don't know whether you're in Sweden or Australia right now, so you have to tell us.
Hi, Bill. Nice to meet you. Hi, everyone. So I'm Torun Tornesel. I'm currently in Stockholm, in Sweden, and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to talk to you, Bill, about one of my favorite subjects in my life, the dream world and the Montague-Ullman method. Introduction. For more than 30 years, I've been having this Montague-Ullman method as a friend. I've always had deep, disturbing, colorful dreams. And when I grew up, no one was paying any attention to dreams. It wasn't seen as a tool or any useful instrument for anything, was my take on it. And when I started as a young grown up, seeing that there were people taking dreams into consideration, of course, Carl Gustav Jung, and later I heard about the Ullman method, I was so pleased. It felt like I'd met a place to touch base from, something bigger than I that could, or the dreams are bigger than I and can actually give me some hints about where I'm going or where I've been. So since the Montague-Ullman method was open to laymen and was so accessible, this became my favorite tool.
How did you find out about the method, or how did you meet Montague-Ullman?
In the beginning, it was via Marianne Blum, whom was part of an organization called it fails me now, but they were having dream like summer vacation or weekends where you went away and were working with the Ullman method, and it greatly appealed to me. And this lady also offered dream groups here in Stockholm. And I also came in contact with Kerstin Andersson, and this was during the 90s. And she was very open for me to be part of the Dream Group forum. However, it took some years before I jumped on, and it was a funny journey, because at the time, me and my husband were moving to Australia, and I was connecting to Kerstin when we were going to travel. So in the end, we were traveling via New York and taking part in Montague-Ullman's course, both me and my husband, and it was a wonderful experience. And then later on, we continued to Australia, where we've been living for more or less on and off for 12 years. So yes, I met Montague-Ullman with some other Swedish people and some Americans, and we were doing dream work during a weekend. It was fantastic experience to meet Montague. This was 99. And the experience to work with him was profound, because he was materializing the dream group method in a very relaxed way, seemingly seemingly relaxed way. And it was a wonderful flow. And sorry, I was lucky to present a dream. And the dream was involving this lady who had introduced the Ullman method to me. And she was doing some actions in my dream which was out of character for her. And Ullman pointed this out. You know, what does it tell you that this lady is doing such and such, which is not my take on how she's behaving? And today I still haven't figured it out why I placed her in my dream like that. But it was a profound experience to take my dream in front of Ullman and the group. Yeah.
Have you been leading dream groups in Australia?
Yes. So I've had some small recurrent dream groups in Australia, and I also had, you know, what would you say, like a place where they run courses. I offered to do a dream group by Ullman, so we did this. It hasn't been a huge interest in numbers, but people are always very interested. But I feel it's like the same like here in Sweden. People are more interested on a general level that dreams are important and people are taking dreams seriously. And then when it comes to crunch time, fewer are interested to sit through the process. I saw this was the same in Australia. I also had some, when Skype came, it was a useful tool. So we were some people meeting, 2 people calling in from different areas in Stockholm and a friend coming to my venue. So we did a Skype dream group recurrently. This was also very fruitful because when people can't connect physically, Skype is a good tool.
You can run a dream group on Skype too?
Yeah.
And you can see all the different people?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh.
It's better to be fewer, so like 4 to 5 people, because you still have to wait for the other person and be more attentive to the person speaking, because you only have the video and you don't have the, you know, the physical sensation. But it's still very possible, and people who live far away then have an opportunity to connect.
And so do you still lead these other online dream groups then?
It's hibernating. So
because you're going back and forth.
Yeah, and also people, it takes a while before you can administer when are we meeting, and people are busy doing other things. And in this case, we were both people from Australia and people from Sweden, so we could only meet in the mornings. So it was administratively challenging.
Well, that's the opposite side of the world, Australia and Sweden, no?
Yeah.
Complete reversal.
Yeah, it's 7 to 9 hours difference.
How many hours?
7 to 9. So in the wintertime, it's 7.5, and in the summertime, it's 9.5.
See, from here to New York is 12 hours. So it's absolutely impossible. People wake up in the middle of the night and it's bad for them, you know.
Yeah, that's impossible. So we still have this little window then, Sweden and Australia.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So the Swedes and the Australians are about the same when it comes to working with dreams? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And you don't have a in-person dream group because of the pandemic?
Well, in Sweden, I've been part of a dream group since the early 90s, and we're the same girls coming and going, and we've been meeting regularly in person, but since March, people are not meeting. So I'll see how we do it during the autumn, if we're going to meet or not, because the government still asks us to not meet in bigger groups.
In Sweden, the Swedish government?
Yeah. And also people over 70 are asked to be very careful.
Yeah.
And some of these ladies are 70 pluses.
Who's leading that group?
We have rotating leadership.
Oh, rotating leadership.
So we have 2 people in the group who are, dream group leader by Dream Group Forum. And then the other girls have a go now and then. So that's relaxing, because then everyone can have a go in not leading or in leading.
Not leading, yeah. Do you enjoy leading?
Yes. Yeah.
And is there anything else you want to say?
I want to talk about Dream Group Forum.
Oh, okay, tell us.
It's a beautiful organization with people who've been engaged since many years, and these people, some of them met with Ullman a lot, and they've kept the flame going. We're still meeting and going despite the corona, so I think we're keeping the flame, and I'm looking forward to see what will turn out of the corona, because now we are learning with more IT device to meet online. For example, I'm part of a dream group leader dream group, where we meet and perhaps excel our skills, give each other feedback, and train and exercise how to lead a group. And we've been meeting over Zoom during the corona times. So this seems like a tool with Zoom to keep the dream groups going, even if we are not meeting.
What is Zoom? How do you spell that?
Zoom.
Zoom. Oh, Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're meeting with now. Yeah, you use Zoom. Yeah.
We have been, yes, in one of my groups.
Do you like it better than Skype?
Yes.
So you're in a dream group leadership group.
Yeah.
It's in Swedish, in the Swedish language?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. So you want to say more about the Dream Group? Drömgruppsforum, is that how you pronounce it?
Drömgruppsforum.
Drömgruppsforum.
Yeah.
Language.
Yeah. Well, I invite anyone who's interested in dreams to check us up and join the Facebook group and join as a member, and to learn more about this method. So even if we're not experts in dreams or experts in the method, it's still enriching to learn a bit more about the method and learn a bit more about dreams.
But it's in Swedish, right? It's all in Swedish. It's held in Swedish.
It's all in Swedish, and most of us are open to work in English too.
Because not a lot of people speak Swedish in the world.
No, they don't.
It's a rare skill.
It's a rare skill. And yeah, it would be wonderful to open up in English too, if there are more English-speaking interested people. Because
I think a lot of people would be interested in learning from Swedes, because Swedes learn directly from Ullman.
Yeah.
And you have a whole process of doing it that's been developed that you could share with the world. People would be very interested, I think.
Yeah, that's so true. And how Ullman described that Sweden was such a good country to develop this method in, and that's makes the method really special, and the country is special too, and the people as well.
What did he say? Why did he say it was special?
I think Swedes are used to meeting in groups, folkbildning, I think the name is, like educate people.
Yeah, he told us about that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's part of our culture and social routine to meet in groups. And we have this routine that everyone comes to the table and have a say. I think that authoritarian style is not, the more top down is not how we work. We work more linear and everyone has a say, which is the Ullman method. It's beautiful.
That's exactly, it's not a top down method. It's a bottom up method.
Yeah, where you honor and worship the dreamer, not the leader.
Exactly, the dreamer's in charge.
Yeah,
and of course, the insights all come from the dream, which is much more bottom than we are. So it's really bottom up.
Yeah, bottom up, and also the dream is everything. It's bigger than the bottom.
Yeah, it's maybe bottom up is a wrong word. Maybe it's.
Well, you can just escalate.
All the years I worked with him, and he always talked about the Swedes. And he said that he compared them with Americans, and he said Americans seem so open. They seem so open and free, but it's just surface. And he said with the Swedes, the moment a Swede tells a dream, he said, you feel like you're in an Ingmar Bergman movie scenario. And he would always say this, and he really, really loved with the Swedes. And when I went to Gothenburg, I really was touched to be there, where he and his students developed this method.
Wow. Yes.
Gunnar, I visited Gunnar Sundström.
Yes, Gunnar.
He goes to Gunnar. Is that what is it in Sweden?
Yeah, Gunnar Sundström.
Gunnar, yes.
Gunnar, yeah.
So.
Interesting. So you came there and felt that special energy.
Yeah, we walked along the street and he pointed up and showed us the room where the first dream groups were being invented. It was really like being in a place in history. We took the ashes, Montague Ullman's ashes, out to sea. That was when right after Montague Ullman died. I happened to be there. Wow. They split the ashes between Sweden and America, and half of them they did in America, and the other half in Sweden, they threw them into the sea. We took a boat out to the ocean and put the ashes.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. So he loved Sweden, and he loved the Sweden. And also his political orientation was 100% in the direction of Sweden. And with the kind of government, the kind of system, with all those, he was able to go to many different little cities and do these groups that you talk about with dreams.
Yes.
Gunnar told me that a lot of those are still going on in those different faraway places.
Yeah, we are. We are. And the Dream Group Forum has, is it called annual meeting in the group in the different cities?
I didn't know that.
Växjö, Umeå, Stockholm, Göteborg. And honor the people who have been building this routine and process forward.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you were doing that. I went to Marco Sivilo's gathering in Sweden at the side of the lake.
In Finland, yes.
In Finland.
Yes.
But I didn't know Sweden had gatherings. Do you work with dreams in these gatherings?
Yeah, we meet 2 weekends for the year, and then we have usually 1 week in Öland, which is an island next to the Swedish coast. And there are also other routine, regular workshops coming up. You know, Anders has one in his area of the country. And what more? Yeah,
Anders Olmstedt?
Yes.
He leads one?
Yeah. He has a retreat with dreams in Vättershus, which is a beautiful course venue near in the middle of Sweden.
The one who suggested that I contact you and make this video of you.
Yeah, thank you, Anders. We've been working together, having really good times.
Do you want to say anything more about what you're doing in Sweden?
I want to touch base on you said about Finland and Marco Sivola. I went there too last year, so it's a year from now. A friend of mine from Australia were welcomed to join their regular weekend, and it was a beautiful venue, and these lovely dream people have been meeting regularly for many years and just welcomed us to their special weekend. And we were just swapping into English, and people were very open and friendly and accommodating for the English language. And it was a beautiful weekend. The setting was was a lot of nature on the lake, so very still in itself. And I appreciated that the stillness we were working in with the Finnish dream friends. And also I loved their way of appreciating the dream as a whole. I think I was more driven to, what's next, how do we solve this, and what's the meaning of the dream. And I've backed away from that now to more honor the dream as a little miracle in itself, not to figure out, but to relate to.
Well, what we do in Taiwan, what Montague Ullman did, is like those two things are not separate, because the way he honored the dream was by enabling the dreamer to make sense of the images in terms of her own life. So it's not about figuring out the dream, it's about the dreamer figuring out herself, or becoming more aware of herself. That's the way to put it. And so every little piece of the dream is like a Henrik Ibsen play. Every little piece. If there's a gun on the mantelpiece in Hedda Gabler, you know that gun's going to be used. And then boom, at the end, bang, and Hedda Gabler kills herself. And everything has significance. In America, and in England, certain people, they have this idea, only a certain percentage of the dream really has meaning. I think that's crazy. It's like an artistic thing. That doesn't mean we can figure it out. Or we have to figure it out. I don't think we have to. You know what I mean? But it's just by getting closer to the dreamer becomes more real. That's the thing. It's not.
Yes.
It's I love the Swedish, the Swedish and Finnish people. They're all together there. It's hard to call it a Finnish thing. And I learned that a lot of parts of Finland are Swedish.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, mostly around the coast. There are svensk, finska, Finnish people also have Swedish as their language. Yeah, it's not a lot of people, but still, the people close to Sweden. Some of them speak Swedish too.
So in Australia, how is this catching on in Australia?
With
the Ullman process. People meeting in retreats and doing things like the Swedes and the Finnish group.
Yeah, I think because my experience was mainly, of course, in Adelaide, where I was living, which is a smaller city than Melbourne and Sydney. And these people also are used to meeting in groups, and like they have the big thing with mateship. You help each other, and you bond and support each other in society. So I think group activities is part of their is part of their routine too, and also the honoring of the dream, I think, is significant there.
What do you mean by the honoring of the dream?
Yeah, more sitting with it than solving it and finding out what does the horse mean? What does it mean? So more seeing seeing the dream as a wholeness, and than to chopping it into pieces.
Well, in the stage, in the playback stage, at the same time, in the playback stage, at the same time, we chop it into pieces and we put the whole dream together as a whole. At the same time, we do both, because the dreamer, we sort of confront the dreamer. Well, you listen to this, and there was a horse, but there's a horse in the dream, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, something comes out. And then it connects with the whole becomes more alive. It's the different parts become intelligible. So it's sort of all connected.
Yeah, very much so.
Do you have good people in Australia in your groups?
Yeah, so I haven't been there now for 5 years. I haven't lived there for 5 years.
You've been in Sweden for 5 years?
Yes.
I didn't know that. You have such amazing pictures because you're on my Facebook, so you have pictures of Australia, then pictures of Sweden. You and your husband with cafe and latte and croissants. It makes your mouth water to see the way you did.
Well, that's what's showing up on Facebook, isn't it? That's where you show the nice pictures, so you think, this is my life, and then the ordinary life goes on behind those pictures.
So you haven't been there for 5 years. Now you're going back.
Yeah, so I've lived in Stockholm for 5 years, but I've been back every year. And coming back to Sweden 5 years ago was wonderful, because then I could connect with my dream people again.
Oh.
My herd, is that the word? My horde,
my tribe.
My tribe, my dream tribe. But you're part of my dream tribe too, Bill.
We've never worked together though.
No, we haven't. But back in 2009, you were the one who said, well, come on, join Facebook, because we have the Dream Group Ullman thing on the Facebook. And I was like, oh, what's that? Seems strange.
You were like that.
Yeah, but connecting via Facebook and via IT with this dream group Ullman movement is fantastic.
Well, I think it's, there's a story of the Buddha when he was old, and there's one of his disciples, I think his name was Ananda, who was the one who wrote down all the words of the Buddha as he said them. Then when the Buddha got old, Ananda came to the Buddha and he bowed. He said, Master, he was going through these notes. He said, if I understand what you've said over the years, it's that the Sangha is very important. Sangha is what you call the tribe, the group, like the Ullman group. And Sangha means a community. And the Buddha said, no, Ananda, you're wrong. You got it wrong. Sangha is not very important. It's the most important thing. And I think that's the Ullman method, is that to be together, to connect, is the most important thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out of me or you, it comes out of the connection where we connect.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important to keep these bonds. What is your time compared to Taiwan?
We're now 11:45.
No, I mean your time in Sweden.
Yeah, 11:45.
Oh, I'm sorry, I mean in Australia, when you go back to Australia.
In Australia. And this is like...
Is that similar to Taiwan?
It's probably around 6 o'clock in the evening.
See, right here it's 5:45. So we'd be in very similar. You're in Adelaide, is that where you are in Australia?
Yeah. I'll check now the time.
It's supposed to be beautiful there. We could be on a similar time, the two of us.
Yeah, we can set something up.
We can set something up. Well, I have an ongoing dream group, and you probably have one. But if you need new members for your dream group, I could, as long as you don't hold it at exactly the same time as mine, I could tell my people, and we have some interesting people. I don't know if you'd want.
I'd love that. I'd love that.
Definitely do that. Just email me when you have a definite time set up. Just email me, and I'll get the word out here in Taiwan.
Yeah, I can post it in the Facebook groups, the Swedish and the international one.
It's very, the Taiwanese, I find the Taiwanese very special. They're so sincere. I mean, not everybody, most people in Taiwan is essentially a Buddhist country. And the Buddhists always, they tell me, they say, oh, we're Buddhist. We are all our practice is to wake up from dreams and face reality. And I tell them, well, we work with dreams, and that's the same aim that we have, is to wake up from the illusions we're walking around in and see things the way they really are. It's exactly the same. Yeah. So a lot of people in Taiwan, they just won't even hear about a dream group. They just look at you like you're crazy. But the ones that are interested are good. Very nice too. I think you'd like them if you want people in your group, if you need people. You need a certain critical mass, right, for it to go forward?
Yes, who are dedicated to go on for like 4 times at least.
Oh, is that how you do it? You do it that way?
Well, that's my experience, that you need like 2 times to warm up to the method. Because in the beginning, you don't want to do any mistakes, and you think you couldn't do this or you couldn't do that. So to separate, this is the dream method, this is how we do the dream method, and this is the dream, so that you are getting a bit comfortable with what you're doing. It takes 2 to 4 times.
So do your group, do you charge for the groups you hold, the online groups?
Yes, I have done that, and I'm also open to, have tryouts, so you know what you're in for.
So, and you have people sign up for 4 times, and then again for 4 times.
Oh, or 6 times.
6 times.
Depends. Yeah.
Some people in Taiwan do that too.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people here leading Ullman Dream Groups now.
Are there?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
My wife has gone around and given lectures and workshops, and people got trained. And so it's sort of a thing that's happening here now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, they've taken to it. This society is very, this society needs something like that. It
Ah,
can be a very authoritarian society. And
okay.
so, and the Ullman Dream Group, I think one professional in a dream group said, when she saw the Ullman process, she said, "This is the most unauthoritarian process I've ever seen in my life."
Wonderful.
Yeah,
It's totally wonderful.
it's wonderful. Wow. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I was touched when you spoke about, that the group gives more than you can expect, the tribe thing, the community thing. Because yesterday I had a little conversation with a new dream friend, and she was saying she's been educating herself a lot and taken a lot of courses. So in a way, perhaps she should be further ahead. And then it struck me that together we are bigger than the one individual, because that's what's happening in the dream group and in other settings as well, where you have a functioning group routine. So in the Ullman group setup, the way it's set up with, not giving advices and taking turns and referring from your point of view, you become an individual and you become a group as well with sound boundaries. So this addition makes the huge difference, where you're sort of connected in the group. You're building that community, tribal feeling. And tribal feels a bit narrow, so you're building a foundation so that other people can join in this field too. Yeah.
It is a field. It's like a field.
Yeah.
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 It's a very special thing.
Yeah.
I feel that our human intelligence, since the earliest times when people would chase after these giant mammoths and try to get meat from them, and it make clothes out of their skin. It's a cooperative venture. That our intelligence is a group intelligence. I think education is wrong to stress these individual. Are you smart? Are you stupid? It doesn't matter. In the group, the group is always smarter than the individual, I feel.
Yeah. What are they saying? The group isn't stronger than its weakest part.
It's stronger than, say that again?
The group is not stronger than its weakest part.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah.
Who says that?
I don't know.
Well, I think the group the Ullman group is stronger than its weakest part, because I think the Ullman group is because even the weakest part may not be weak. You know what I mean? It contributes in its own way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's my experience anyway.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it, because you might have misunderstood the weakest part and focus over there and see it's not weak. It is more than that, much more.
That's the idea that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So you can break the weak link.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess I should have made a list of questions. Anders sent me some things I might talk. He was he asked, has your work with dreams influenced the way you work? And
Good question. Yes. Yes.
Do you want to say anything about that?
So I learned Ullman method when I was around 30, and it has affected me ever since. So it's built in me. So, I mean, wherever I go, and I'm such a group person, I like to be in groups, and, you know, everyone's welcome and we shouldn't close anyone out. But the way Ullman is looking at everyone has something to contribute with, and when we make the topic we speak about, in my view, if it was my dream, my feelings are, or if it's my picture, or if it's my problem, if it's my life, I would relate it to, I would feel like, and it tells me. So to bring it up, bring everything home, what we talk about, so to be clear to me and everyone that I'm talking about this from my point of view, then it's clear that I'm not telling anyone else, this is how you should do it.
Oh, who you are, this is who you are. You know, you're not saying this is you, this is what your dream means. You're not saying that. You're saying
No.
that my dream, it would mean this.
Yeah.
But it's not my dream, it's your dream. So we don't know what it means until you speak up.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Exactly. So, yeah, everywhere in life, this is applicable.
Everywhere, yep. Montague Ullman really, he came out of the person he was. He was a unique person. And he was in Sweden, a unique place. And he developed this. And I think the world should learn about it. And they just are not noticing it. I went to Thailand, and I was in this little out-of-the-way bookstore, and there's Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's everywhere. You know, and it's wrong. The way it looks at dreams is wrong. Dreams are not, you know, they're not wish fulfillments. But Montague Ullman was right about dreams, and you don't find him anywhere. They don't know who he is in Thailand, you know. So,
is that the description of a big person? You can't really find him or her anywhere, but you find the commonness with other big people, that they have the same, they pointed in the same directions as other big people.
I just wanted to say something about something you said about if it's my dream. I had a recent interchange with someone that I know in one of the European countries, and she was talking about a dream, and she told me the way she worked with this dream. This was in an Ullman group. She Googled to find out what the image meant. And I was aghast, because my students at the university, I teach a course in the Ullman Dream Group at the university, and the students all say, well, I Googled this, and Google, and I tell them, don't do that, you know. And so here, this woman, this is a very intelligent woman who's studying to be a therapist. And she told me this, and I was just shocked. And she said, well, why not? She said, I'm looking for any information, and why not Google and find out? But the reason is, there is a reason, and it's what you said. Because when I say, if it's my dream, it's me talking. You know what I mean? The image comes from my experience. It's organic. And she can look at me and see who I am. Oh, him, it's just him. You know what I mean? He's this, he has his problem. Oh, that one or that. We can judge what people say by who they are. So we know where it comes from. It comes from a person who's had experience and is speaking from themselves. But someone writing on the internet, oh, if you have a horse in a dream, that means the energy. You know what I mean? It's not the same. It's really not the same.
No, and that's always the first question. Someone has a dream and they say, oh, Torun, I know you're into dreams. What does it mean? Blah, blah, blah. Which is perfectly, that's what that's my first question too when I have a powerful dream. You know, what does it mean? But it's part of the process to start to talk about, well, I can't tell you, you can tell me, and we can work the Ullman method if you want, and then you will connect to your inner material and what you did the day before, etc.
They don't understand that. They don't understand that. When you tell them that, they don't know what is she talking about, you know.
Oh yes, I think there are, like doors opening. It just takes time, and we don't see it because it happens inside the other person.
Montague Ullman said, he said, for 20 years, I've been telling people that only the dreamer can know the meaning of a dream. And as soon as someone comes up to me, they tell me a dream. What does it mean? They ask.
Yes.
And he would tell them that just what you're saying, You can't tell them. I think they have to figure it out,
Yeah.
They can't get that because they're used to going to outside authorities. And that's the disease in our modern society. It's the inside authority that we have to practice using.
Yeah. And I when you're talking about it, I'm thinking, well, this is the beauty with being precise. I want to know what the dream tells me. What is it all about? So this is the question. And then if we wait, we will answer ourselves. I'm thinking about the instructions in the Ullman method. They're very clear. After a while, we know them by heart. What emotions, what feelings do you have in the dream? And what are the metaphors telling you? And sometimes we are too quick and not say the instructions out loud. But when we do repeat the instructions, even if we know them by heart, this is the question to me. This is the question to the dreamer. This is the question to everyone in the group. And once the question is said, what feelings do you get? Then the reply comes from within the person.
Yeah,
so we just need to wait, and then the answer
that's exactly
respond.
What it is. And the dream group is a long process with these different stages. What we're doing, we're waiting the whole time, and the reply comes from the person.
Yeah,
from us.
You wait. So I'm thinking now that the people coming to us and say, what does the horse mean? It's beautiful, keep that question open and see what you reply yourself. See what your, being, what your gut feeling is telling you. So for us who gets the question to say nothing.
Well, sometimes if someone comes, they ask you something like that. And what we can do is we actually can take them through something like the Montague Ullman process just by talking to them. I said, you could ask them to, hold on.
What's happening?
Hold on, this is my wife calling. I'll be right back, okay? Oh.
The world is coming in. Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. I'm on a video now, okay? Okay, bye. Already cooked, yeah. Okay, bye. Sorry about that. She's in the mountains and she's coming back, and she says no dinner.
The world coming in.
And I already cooked dinner.
The world is coming in. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, the world is coming in. And I was thinking, we're so eager to give advice and to reply to questions.
Yes.
We love it.
Oh, yes. I mean, when I teach this course, the Taiwanese around the circle, the poor dreamer has opened herself up and told all these intimate things. And then what do the people do one by one with the orchestration? Oh, you should blah, blah, blah. What you need to do is blah, 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 And I stopped them dead in the tracks. I said, no advice. We were not giving the dreamer advice. We don't know anything. None of us, and these psychologists, none of us, I'm not a psychotherapist. We're not psychotherapists. And in the Ullman group, none of us act like psychotherapists.
Yeah.
Who are we to tell someone what to do? The dream is what the dreamer, and it takes people a whole semester to learn that.
Yeah. we can circle the advice we want to give the other one and, read it for us. Oh, this is what I need to do.
Well, half of the
Well,
time it's something their mother told them that they should do, and so they're telling everybody else, you should eat more crackers. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I have so many advice to others all the time.
But,
yeah, turn them around to oneself.
but what you were talking about, I think if someone asks you what does this dream mean, what I do is I take them back, because my wife always wakes up, oh, I had a dream, this and this and this. And so I ask her, well, what's real in the dream? I take her through the process. What are your feelings in the dream? And then, do you want to hear what I think if it was me, anything like that? I just sort of essentially go through the process. You don't tell them, oh, here's what I want to say. I think you're right, and I know you're right, because what you said, that every time we go to a new stage, we explain what the stage is, even though everybody knows it. Monty always said, that's necessary, like we're changing gears, because each different part of the stage has a different, we're doing something different.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
It's that message, it's the message from the mind to the rest of the being.
Yeah. It's a wonderful process. Well, if is there anything else you want to say? There's so much here about this we could talk about.
Yeah, well, I just wish, read Anders' list, and I just wish that more people are welcoming their dreams, and if there is any interest out there to connect to someone or us to do some dream work in a group.
Well, do you want to say anything about the group? You're going to set up a group when you go to, you're going to Australia soon, right?
I'm just very open to set up a dream group any way that's working for people.
Well, should I mention you in my groups?
Yes, please do.
Is that okay?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Perhaps I could join you one day or one occasion.
To join us. Today's Friday. We meet the day after tomorrow, but you'll probably be in an airplane. Are you in Sweden, right?
Yeah, I'm in Sweden now.
Sweden is we meet at 1 p.m. Taiwan time, so that would probably be too late for you. What time would that be in Sweden? You're ahead of us, right? Or are you behind us?
No, behind.
Behind, 7 hours behind?
We'll sort it out. Yeah.
Now, you were telling me about how dreams have influenced your work and the job. You're a nurse, right? That's what Anders said.
Well, that's my basic training, but now I'm working, for the most of my life, I've been working as a project leader with administrative routines involved in the pharmaceutical industry, where you are trying out new medications.
Oh.
So that's far from the nursing, but I bring this method with me in any conversation, to listen to the other and to say, from my point of view, this is blah blah blah. And if they
listen,
to hear what the other person is really saying, and how can we take it from there.
That's so important. To listen and to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, in a group setup, to really hear what's everyone saying. The weak link, perhaps the quiet person is not speaking up or coming to the discussion, and then you can ask what this person is bringing or sitting with.
So you ask people to participate or not participate?
Yeah, I hope I do.
Do you do that in the dream group in Sweden too? Do you ask people who are quiet to participate?
No.
Monty never did it either, but in Taiwan, because in Taiwan, especially with students, they've gone through education all their life, and unless a teacher asks them to speak, they won't speak. It's an authority system. So when I say, does anyone have any projections? There's silence all around. So I just start out with the first person, and then I go around the group one by one. I say their name,
Yeah.
and they tell me whatever they.
Yes.
And they say brilliant things, but they never would have said a word if I didn't ask them like that. So I've had to
Yeah.
change the process a little bit to fit the culture here.
Yeah, beautiful. That's well put. Yeah, it has to work for the culture.
Yeah.
And I think what we've started to do lately is to, when the dream group is over, we bring to the surface questions we've had during the group work that's been people haven't been clear about. And then you can say, oh, perhaps if there's one person who's been very dominant in talking, then you can say, next time, please be aware of everyone having a time to, chip in. Depends on the group.
That's a problem if you get a situation like that. And I think when I was going to Montague Ullman's sessions up in Ardsley, I think I was that person. I had so many ideas, and I was so happy to be with these people in this group. And I just talked and talked and talked. And I don't think that's right, And and now I don't do that anymore. Maybe because I've grown older, and I don't have that much to say. But but it's better. It's better for the group,
Yeah. Well, I guess there is always a way to solve any itch.
Yeah. But it's really important that nobody dominating the group. It's really a group process.
Yeah, very much so. And I mean, if you start to have these little question and answer after the dream group, people can relax and bring questions to this little moment in time. And we also see that we don't need to be perfect as a leader or as a dreamer or as a participant. We're just doing our best, and then it's fine to say something wrong.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's usually
yeah.
It's usually when you say those seemingly wrong things, or ask a question that's relating to another stage in the process. It's usually good for the dreamer, because it usually brings something up that the dreamer finds is beneficial or not. I don't know.
Yeah, and even if you do something wrong, something you're not supposed to do, sometimes it's good for the dreamer. I'm not saying you should do wrong things, but sometimes people make a mistake, and the dreamer pops out and starts speaking, and you see the dreamer needed that mistake to come to work.
Yes, perhaps to clarify the method.
Yeah, so it's a wonderful process. I want to say, let me see, Anders, I think I asked all Anders, he said, how can we open up dream work for new generations, bringing in the young people? I do that at the university. I think it should be part of education.
Yeah.
You ever deal with young people in Australia or Sweden?
Well, the young person I'm dealing with is my daughter. She's 20. And of course, she was born into, she was taking part in Ullman's dream workshop, because I was pregnant with her in the dream workshop in New York. So she was born into this dream group method. And what we've been doing all the way in my family is, when we have dreams, we bring them out, and then we have this conversation, what were the feelings and what are the significant things in your dream? And then we ask, would you like to see how it is if it's my dream? So then we offer, if it's my dream, I would think and feel blah, blah. So
you did this before you knew the Ullman method?
No, this is the Ullman method that I sort of applied around the breakfast table where the family meets. So we've shared dreams all along. And it seems like, what am I saying? I'm not sure, but it seems like my daughter knows that it's her dream and she's the boss of interpretation.
It's good to know, right?
Yeah, and that all dreams are very interesting for her mum.
Does she attend your dream groups, your daughter?
No, no, no.
Does
But
she
we
attend,
always talk about strong dreams.
does she attend any dream groups?
I don't think so, no.
What is she interested in?
Personal development, big time.
Oh, really? That's what she's interested in?
But
That-
she's, she's doing it her way.
Oh, really? What's her way?
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Huh.
Yeah. But it would be wonderful if young people were interested in coming along. But I guess they need to influence the way we're working with dreams. So it's their routine, it's their way.
If your daughter wants to join in the Taiwan Dream Group, she's welcome. And she might be interested in meeting some people from a different culture, who are interested in the same sort of thing she is. Who would not, they would just accept her and work with her. We have people that age in our group. The youngest person I ever had in a dream group, she was in, I think she was in elementary school. And she was a real whiz,
Wow.
We learned things from her.
Yes, of course.
Young
people are very inspiring.
Yeah. So I guess we should close off. Anders always said, well, if we go too long, nobody will listen to it.
Yeah.
But do you want to say anything else before we close off?
Well, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to talk to you and to have had this experience to meet with Ullman and the Dream Group people, Dream Group Forum. When I was preparing for this interview, I ran through my life and I see it's a beautiful cooperation that people have been doing through the years. So gratefulness. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
You always, whenever you want to, just email me. You can always come back, okay? And I put this on YouTube in there's a special collection about Ullman Dream Group leaders, each one speaking. I think it's important for people in different countries to see this. So thank you very, very, very much.
Oh, okay? Thank you so much, Bill.
So I'm going to end this now. Talk to you.